Hi, superstars. Thank you for stopping by this channel. If you have not done so, please quickly subscribe. Let us move forward. Parents have the duty to protect their children from any danger or potential danger. That is exactly what Thomas did. When Thomas realized that something was wrong with her daughter, he did all he could to protect her. Thomas has discovered that since the daughter started school, she has not been herself, and she was not a happy child that she used to be. Everything was going downhill, and put that made Thomas very sad. So Thomas took a drastic measure to put things in place. He needed to find out what was wrong with the child. He needed to find out why is it that the child was not happy since he started going to school. Of course, we all know that starting school is not an easy thing for a kid. In most cases, it's a hard adjustment for children to make. It is natural, and all over, it is the same. In this significant moment of change, children really need support from the parents, especially so when they are starting school. Starting school for the first time is challenging to the children, but what makes it even worse is having a teacher that is horrible. Something wasn't okay with Thomas' daughter after starting school, and part of her knew that this type of school wasn't something typical. There must be something wrong with the school, but she has not been to any other school to understand what was wrong. Eventually, things came to a breaking point for Thomas when his daughter began crying every morning and refusing to go to school. At that point, Thomas knew it has gone beyond the point of just being nervous. Thomas now knew something was absolutely wrong and he needed to get to the bottom of it. To make the matter worse, Thomas' daughter refused to tell the mom and dad what was making her so sad. Her excitement, her joy immediately vanished at an alarming rate. It was time to fix it, Thomas thought. Thomas and his wife had a specific mindset when it comes to training their children. They both believed that nourishment, positivity, and support were vital to ensuring that their children grow up to be successful adults. Having trained their child this way, they knew there's something fundamentally wrong with her. The more Thomas thought about it, the more he began realizing that things must go wrong at school. However, he struggled to figure out a way to precisely find out what was affecting the child badly. But Thomas knew that he couldn't go to school to find out what was going on, to investigate the situation, because the teacher or the student would not act in the right way. They may act differently. He needed to know exactly what the child was going through in school every day that made her not to want to return back to the same school. So he made a small audio device that would allow him to listen to everything the daughter was being exposed to. He placed the listening device carefully in the daughter's ear. This allowed him to hear everything that was going on around the daughter without exposing what he was doing. Thomas also knew he couldn't tell the daughter about the listening device on her hair. He didn't want the daughter to be distracted all day long. And also, he knew the daughter was too young to be able to handle such situations. The daughter could even expose the device to others. Thomas was really sick of the thought of his daughter being emotionally abused and needed this solution. He was going to do all he could to see to it that he understands everything the child was going through rather. Having placed the device in the daughter's hair, Thomas couldn't stop thinking about it all day long. He kept thinking about everything that the daughter must be experiencing right at home. He just wanted her returned back from school so that he could go down and get all the information and get to the bottom of what the child was experiencing at school. Finally, it was home time, and Thomas' daughter was in her family, safe. The first thing Thomas did is to run, hug the child, and checked whether the device was still on her head. Having found the device, Thomas was very happy. Thomas listened to everything that was going on in the school. What he heard was frustration. Anger was spreading across Thomas' entire body as he listened to the recording. Thomas' suspicions were correct. It was just Thomas realized that his daughter's teacher was abusing her power as a classroom teacher, and this made Thomas more angry. Thomas felt betrayed because someone that was being paid by him to take off the child was the one hurting her feelings. Thomas couldn't believe that a teacher could behave that way. But Thomas didn't want to take it up with the teacher because he knew it wouldn't go anywhere and he would end up getting angry. Instead, he decided to take the issue up with the public school district. Although Thomas brought compilation evidence against the teacher, the school district failed to respond sufficiently. Thomas was disappointed that the school district didn't find the teacher's action as revolting as it did. So, after the school district's underwhelming response, Thomas decided that he needed to fix the problem himself. To Thomas, the teacher getting a warning wasn't good enough. He needed to make sure that this will never happen again. However, the school made an attempt to make things better by switching Thomas' daughter to another class where another teacher would take care of her. Thomas wasn't satisfied with this because he knew that there are other helpless children in the class that are also being abused day in, day out by the class teacher, Mrs. Duncan. Thomas had empathy for other kids in the class and their parents. He knew that those kids were also feeling the same way his daughter was feeling, and the parents were just as he was while he was in the dark, not knowing what their children are passing through. He had to inform others about what was happening. It was only fair for other parents and the public to know. Thanks to Thomas, many people gained information on the bullying being committed by Mrs. Duncan. This gave parents the power to decide if they wanted their children around that abuse, thus saving many children from trauma. Thomas and the other parents protested to remove the teacher, Mrs. Duncan, out of the position she was in. The parents were adamant that their children couldn't be put in an environment like the one they have in school. However, the school authority decided to keep Mrs. Duncan as a class teacher. This made the parents more outrageous, but that didn't stop Thomas. He was ready to fight this and stop Duncan from teaching once and for all time. The parents' outrage caused action. This action led to a petition being created with the purpose of removing Mrs. Duncan from her position as a class teacher. Thomas received a lack of support in his early attempts to get justice. things started to change when he started this petition on change.org. Local media came to know what was going on, and of course, Thomas was placed in the middle of the media spotlight. Thomas was admired for his tremendous determination to get justice for his daughter and other children. The story became rapidly popular and came to be known by all in the nation. Even though Mrs. Duncan had not been fired or removed from her position as a class teacher, yet the immense amount of support Thomas received gave him hope that one day this will take place. Many people are unhappy about the poor manner in which the school districts handle this situation. This is so because Mrs. Duncan is still in her position teaching and potentially damaging many children's lives and their emotions, and of course bullying them. Mrs. Duncan uses abusive language on them, making them feel demeaning. This is highly saddened considering the evidence put forth by Mr. Thomas. Mrs. Duncan's action is contrary to the responsibility of a teacher, which has to do with improving the minds and imagination of children. There is a reason that teachers are the second most powerful impactors as far as children's future are concerned. They are just second only to the parents of children. They leave lasting effects on children. Mrs. Duncan did precisely what a teacher shouldn't do. She belittled them, humiliated them, and bullied children she taught. Even though Mrs. Duncan is still in a position of power, one can only hope that she has learned something from this ordeal. Hopefully, she has realized the issue on her teaching, and she has learned that her job is at stake and that she treats people kindly and mildly. Now, Thomas is happy that her child and daughter is in a better environment. So parents, do you know where your children are? Do you know the kind of environment they are passing through at school? Do you care to know what their parents are? Find it out today. Thanks for watching, and tell us what you learned from this. And if you were Mr. Thomas, what would you have done? Let us know in the comment section. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. One more thing, please don't forget to subscribe and like this video and share it so that others can also learn how to protect their children. Thank you. See you in the next